I just noticed I was on mute. I'm not sure if I was on mute during Sagittarius, was I? How long have I been on mute? I don't know. I've been doing the stream for 10 minutes so far. I guess, Scorpio, I'll say that if you were dealing with a Sagittarius, the energy with Sagittarius essentially, Sagittarius will be keeping a distance from you. Sagittarius will be keeping a distance from anyone who they could see as opportunities that can not very good. But I'm going to continue recapping Leo, just in case. I don't know how long I was muted. So, and I think too in this energy, Scorpio, you are in a more stable position than Sagittarius is. Either your finances are more stable, your work is more stable, your achievements are more stable, or Scorpio, they could be more impressive, one or the other, maybe both. With that Sagittarius wants to be more impressive. Sagittarius will keep themselves at a distance from you because Sagittarius doesn't want you evaluating what they have in the same way that Sagittarius Scorpio has calculated what you have. They don't want the gaze to go both ways, Scorpio. So basically, that is the energy I have for Sagittarius towards you, Scorpio. And as I said, I'm not sure when I muted myself. This is Leo energy. And Leo energy is almost in the same vein as Sagittarius, but it's much more positive. I was a lot happier with the work that they've done, a lot more happier with the gains. Of course, there's always more work to be done. I also say in this energy that Leo is not only continuing to go work on themselves, happy with what they've done so far, but Leo also is looking for a partner to both share what they've already created and build together with. That's the energy of Leo. Leo is looking to share what they've done so far. Leo is also looking for a good partner to go further. Hello, Brian. So let's go and check out the remaining fire sign. We'll check out, excuse me, we'll check out Aries for Scorpio. Let's see. Aries for Scorpio. I want that card, Scorpio. Gee, all the fire signs for the Scorpio are really into the trappings of comfort, really concerned with work, finances. It feels like living such life. I think it's style and achievement is really strong in all the fire signs towards you, Scorpio. This was Aries, right? And the fire sign you, Scorpio, in very wealthy light. Sagittarius is a bit intimidated by you. Leo thinks you're a dream. And Aries is impressed with you. Maybe all the Scorpios are out there doing like grand interesting things at work. And whatever they do at work, they do it well. whatever achievements that you've gained. They're impressed by it. They're impressed by what you've invested into your life so far, Scorpio. And Aries is no different. Aries, however, has a tinge of competition. A tinge of competition, however, Aries has been doing things their own way. Aries specifically has operated according to what they felt was necessary rather than a standard path, Scorpio. So I do think whatever wins or losses that Aries has, Aries perfectly fine, and even, do I say proud? They accept them. They're not really embarrassed or proud of what they've done with their life path. It's their life path. It's what they chose to do, and they have dedication and responsibility and follow through for what they've done. Regardless of the wins, regardless of the losses in Aries energy, this is what Aries has done to get themselves to this particular point. And regardless if Aries has material trappings or not, Aries has a whole lot of experience, and Aries is pretty razor sharp. Aries has learned a lot. So I would say that if Aries comes off with perhaps not as much as you, Scorpio, or maybe their work doesn't pay as well as you, or maybe you're farther along, something along those lines, Scorpio, Aries is perfectly fine and not intimidated by that because, you've gone your path and done your thing. Aries has gone their path and done their thing. So, on that energy, be back in a second. I think the reason why the internet is so off where I am the past couple of days is because it's raining. Let's see. Give me 1 second. It's almost 222 right now. Okay. Hello, Charlie. Thank you for letting me know it's muted. I actually spent the first 10 minutes of this reading on mute, fortunately. So I had to recap. Oh, now I'm wondering, I recapped Sagittarius, but now I wonder if I have to recap Leo. Not sure if I was Well, I was talking about Leo. Does that mean I was also muted? Okay, so maybe I'll recap Leo too, just in case. Oh, your battery died. Are you all fully charged now, Charlie? Yeah, today's like the day of. So the answer, I did do the last part of your reading. I continued with that. Go and look for the stream that has the most amount of time. I could have done a secondary stream. I'm not sure. This morning I've done so many things that are blur. But part with the magic question. Oh, good answers. Oh, new reading. Well, let me know then, Charlie. Tell me your question. I'm here, Charlie. I am here. Let's go and get some answers together. Yeah, as I said with Hazel has created a huge, obvious crater of energy around that. Not just footprints. Hazel created something really obvious in terms of magic around you. But tell me, what's another question that you would like to go and have explored? I'm not sure which Wi-Fi connection is better. Oh, wonderful. Glad to see you on Instagram. I'll go and look for your follow later. And I'll go and follow you as well. No, he definitely has gifts. No doubt about that. No doubt that he is. Seriously. He's been given gifts and he continues to be given gifts, from what I can see. Okay, take your time. Sounds good. Sounds good, Shireen. Sounds good. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Shireen. And I'm going to get some water. I'll be back in just a second. Which is kind of like a chessboard, only with clay and no chance. Please understand me. Let's see a really rough case. It might be the The cat's all ready to share water again. Okay, thank you, Charlie. Give me one moment. I'll be back in just a second. Okay, thank you, Charlie. That's right. That's what you tell him. So what's your question? Especially as someone of the, is this Libra living a double life? Oh, what a juicy question. What a juicy question, Shireen. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. In fact, you know, I'm also going to pull some moon cards for you too. I'm going to let the sound out. Call in the spirits. Let them go and share their insights, clear the pathways of energy to be read. Is this Libra living a double life? Too much. Let's see. High school praiseworthy baby. What is this baby? With a Libra? Is that the Libra? Well, first of all, I'm going to say that I feel overall the Libra is very impressive. I think the Libra has, we're going to go and of course explore. But I think that Libra does have really good traits. I think that Libra has a very strong foundation. I think the Libra is impressive. The question is, for me, what is this high school and baby? Are we dealing with someone who has a tendency to be a bit immature? Maybe as you get to know this person a little bit, could there be some actions that are juvenile? Oh, okay. Well, so we could say that he definitely does have some immature wrinkles to iron out in his package, in his overall self. Because something about here is juvenile. Good foundation, a little juvenile. But I'm curious about what this baby is. Is he someone to romance you? Especially if you said that, of course, no relationship, no intimacy. Does that mean that he's been trying to go and push you into romantic energy with baby? You know how couples, terms of endearment, people they find attractive, they do use that as a term of endearment? Or is this actually like some kid? What is this baby? But I'm going to continue to pull a little bit more. All I know is I have juvenile energy. Maybe this baby is continuing that juvenile energy. Maybe that baby is a term of endearment with his romance. Oh my God. Oh, okay. Oh, did he? Okay, he wasn't joking. He wasn't joking, Charlie. He wasn't joking. I'm going to pull 3 more moon cards and then we'll get into some tarot. Let's see on this Libra. That's really too much. Okay. But I still find, let's find out more about this baby. Well, not the baby, about him. We're going to pull these three cards are in general. If he can get you immediately, he will. In fact, I would also say with this Libra, he's not adverse at all to getting what he can get as he can get it from who he wants to get it from. That was like a mouthful, right? But I also feel with this Libra, he's not exactly the type to love and leave. I do think that in the energy that I have here, he probably feels like that's necessary to, or an easy way to start establishing those endorphins with the person of interest so that you can't get away. I do think that that Libra is going to try his best to romance you because he wants to go and really solidify the connection that you that you have with him, and you won't be able to leave, which also, incidentally enough, would be also a baby, right? Well, I could tell here from this energy, everything he'll want at his pace. The question is, too, with high school, if you maintain your boundaries too much, would he then sort of split and leave, right? That's a question, too. I'm going to pull actually 3 more moon cards. Well, his whole idea is for you to get attached to him. Not only one night could refer to obviously the one night stand, the immediate sex, it could also just refer to the timing. Very impatient, especially with high school impatientness. He wants things right away. He wants things to be attached to him, attached as quickly as possible. There's also that energy here as well. I'm also going to say, too, was praiseworthy and hired coming up as well. He probably legitimately, especially with that high school energy, he probably legitimately doesn't understand why you would have any compunction to, not jump on him when he's so impressive. Yeah, that energy is here. Wooden spoon, kappa, and happiness. So he said he was a Libra, right? It's interesting because Kappa is referring to, it can refer to a couple things. It can refer to a body type that is more thick. It could also refer to somebody with a lot of earth in their chart, like earth, water, also someone who's slow to move. You know, they're comfortable with where they're at. They don't really like to be hurried or well, I have happiness here with it. And also, too, think about this way: the Kappa characteristics. It's earth with a lot of water. So it's almost like very slow, heavy energy. They're also very comfortable with where they are, and they also don't like to be hurried or rushed at a pace that they can't control. It's a stubborn energy as well. Now, with this wooden spoon, I almost wonder with that kapha here and just this whole personality traits of this characteristic. Are we referring to just finances here, or could we be referring to maybe how he could maybe give out the presence or give out the attention and give it back? There's something like maybe, for instance, he's not lacking in money, but maybe he would be lacking in affection or lacking in true emotional openness. Those are the sorts of questions that I have here, especially with happiness. Could he dole out or want to be rather split, almost Dr. Jekyll, Dr. Hyde type of energy in the things he does to make you happy? But I am going to say, too, putting all this out here, let me also say that just in how the cards are coming out, you can see that, right? High school, one night, wouldn't stand. I mean, there's a bunch of ways that these could be read, but these are the energies that are here. And with his whole cold-heartedness, let me say as well, Shireen, it's not exactly accurate. He gives out affection based on conditions. Affection and creating happiness is his cat treats, his doggy treats. Like I tell my cats to sit if they want a cookie. He's acting in that sort of energy. Good boys and good girls get a cookie and bad ones don't. So it's not like he is incapable of it. He just feels like there has to be a reason for it. Yeah, that's something that I think is that's one. If we were just talking about like how real is he, I would say that this is one of the red flags right here. I mean, I find this disturbing that he would, because as I said, I don't really feel like this is money issues. I feel like this is literally how also secure he'd make you feel. When you were doing good, he'd make you feel very secure. If he was angry or agitated with something that you did, and maybe something that you did was something like you wore the wrong outfit, or you smiled too much at someone else, or you weren't listening, or whatever, right? Maybe you took like a trip somewhere and afterwards he decided that he didn't like it. It's all those sorts of things that, to me, like anything, it feels like could trigger this off. So I think that's a little disturbing. With high school, one night, and wooden spoon, this tells me that he wants everything immediate. He basically has the ability to be almost like very tit for tat. Tit for tat and everything on his timetable. He likes things very immediate. He'll go and make his decisions very immediate. Will he actually go and consider you or bring you to the table or have a conversation with you in the table or about the situation? All right, that's like an energy right here. Praiseworthy and hired, together with Kappa, as I said, he's very hard to move from what he doesn't want to move in. He does think almost like he has all the answers. His way is best. He follows, he leads, you follow. It's that kind of energy here. And everything at his pace. And he legitimately thinks that he. Hey, Charlie, I'm back. So, tell me, did you hear that last part that I said before my internet? When I was saying that he believes that internet. When I was saying that he believes that. Okay, now you can hear me, right? Thank you for letting me know that I was muted. Okay, so I'm back. Okay, cool. So essentially, I'm not sure where I got cut off here when I was talking about this. I'm going to recap. But praiseworthy, hired, and Kappa, he thinks that he doesn't like to be rushed. He thinks that his way is definitely best. I do think he has qualities. Sounds good. Sounds good. And yeah, if you notice that I'm muted or anything like that when I'm talking, if I mute myself while coughing, let me know, because sometimes I get so caught up in the reading, I just go off on the messages and then I forget to like look at the actual icons and whatnot. Say, oh, it's not muted or it is muted. Yeah. I think that's his stunt. That is his red flag, his gap. I do think he's smart. This Libra. I do think he's smart. I do think he's a hard worker. I do think he is not lazy at all. He does, however, I think put a whole lot of he puts a lot of importance on himself, and he thinks that because of what he's achieved and who he is, and I mean like what he's achieved, like in other words, when he looks in the mirror and when he looks at what he's done, I think he just thinks that he's the complete package. And because of that, I think he's kissing his arms, his fingers, the mirror. I think he's just very much in love with himself. And I think he thinks that it's a privilege. Oh yeah, and I think that he thinks it's a privilege to have him want to direct you. He knows best. And you should be honored the fact that he is taking an interest in you enough to want to direct you. That could be a question to explore. What I see here with baby, unbreakable bonds, and happiness, he definitely wants to go with you. And like if he could get a baby with you, he wasn't joking. If he could go and, create a kid with you, he would. I also am still like, whenever I see words like baby or and that's weird. I'm not going to. Calling himself pretty boy to a pretty woman. That it feels like a red flag right there. Not that someone can't be attractive, but I'm just saying to use that terminology of a pretty boy in the presence of a woman is, odd. Hello, Atrika. Atrika, if you'd like me to pull for you, you can make a donation through Buy Me a Coffee. And I could answer your question after I'm done with Charlie's reading. Well, essentially with that Libra, if he could go and get you with a baby, if he could go and create some sort of tight bonds with you, he really would like that. But it has to be on his conditions. His conditions. That is not nice. And that's not cool. But then for it too, let me go and say as well, Charlie, for him to call himself right then and there a pretty boy in the presence of a woman that he's attracted with, right there, he's sort of in competition with you. Well, the thing that is a little off-putting for me with baby and also with high school, baby's in his energy. I guess this is what I'm going to say. Baby is in this man's energy. So does he already have a kid coming on the way? Is he going to have a kid soon arrive? Is a kid coming in the not too distant future to him? I don't know. There's something growing in his energy for baby to be here as well. It's a fixation that he has. And it could also be like through immature actions, he's there creating unbreakable bonds in one way or another. He's creating connections with people that aren't easy to sever. I'll put it that way. Yeah, I think that's also odd that he's saying that he wants babies when aren't there things that come before the babies, like you said, the relationship, the house, what kind of life together would be there? Oh, that's so weird. And it looks like in this energy too, only one nights, any only situations and flings. Well, this is also the energy of, you know, the one night stand timing, but also he has issues with anyone who takes control, anyone who won't fall in line with him. If you don't march to his drumbeat, he's going to have issues with that. And essentially what I'm getting from him is that as long as everything goes his way, he's going to be very amenable to you. But if you don't follow his way, he will cut you off. He could breadcrumb you. He could zombie you. Like keep quiet, and then pop up again and see if you're more amenable to having him in your life. You know, he's a gift. This is how he sees himself. That Libra sees himself as a fantastic gift. He really does. No joke. And he feels like if he's not appreciated as he wants to be appreciated, not appreciating together, but if he's not appreciated as he feels he should be appreciated, then I feel like he'll bounce. But in your case, he's not going to bounce forever. He'll come back and see if you've learned your lesson yet. That's the sick thing too. It's like training you. If you have too much spirit and independence, Charlie, he'll be there like, I'll train you. I'll train you into being how I want you to be. So that's the gist of him. Is he living a double life? Yes. Well, so his double life, I'm going to say, if he told you that he doesn't do flings and relationships, or excuse me, he doesn't do relationships, only flings and situationships, that's true. That is true. I also do think he's very smart. I do think he's as impressive as he appears to be. I think for a while yet, he's going to continue to go and ride on whatever good fortune he's been riding on so far. I think he's someone to be watched out for. That's what I think. I think he is attracted to you, but I wonder his ability to truly be in a relationship, an honest relationship with someone else. So is he living a double life? As long as you do things his way, he won't be living a double life. But I do see that he's very immature. That one night and baby, even the sun coming out again with Page of Cups, bottom of the deck energy. All this kind of bothers me as well. This bothers me, Charlie. I really do wonder if he has some other form of responsibility in family. I wonder if he has multiple. I don't know. Something about it just really bothers me here. Yeah, that's weird that he wouldn't bring his phone. I think that, you know, having two phones is weird. I think that when people don't answer their phones when they're with you, or they kind of expect you to keep quiet, if they're approaching you and they don't want to introduce you to their friends, their family, the neighborhood where they work, all those things are red flags. The phone is definitely that. Well, I don't think you should in the energy that I have here, only because I feel like something else is up with him. I do think, too, this person has a tendency that if he could baby trap you, he would. I do think more important than that, in terms that if you had any sort of connection with him, relationship with him, I think the closer and closer that you got with him, the more he would play games of manipulation, that he would go and heap rewards and heap punishments depending upon how you behaved. So all this energy kind of bothers me on that. It's literally like training. I'm going to reinforce the behavior I want from you. I'm going to harshly discourage the behavior I don't want in you. Well, it's possible in this energy that he actually does have some financial issues, but I feel like Wooden Spoon and Five of Pentacles here is actually more about his personality. I feel like he gives and withholds attention and affection. Those are like really, I think, the weapons that he has. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's so weird. Charlie, you know that he has his own phone to log on to his own social media accounts. That's very weird. He has 2 businesses. I really do wonder, Charlie, if he has any kids. If he doesn't have any kids, I think he's going to go and have some within the next 12 months, 2 years. He's going to have kids soon. He doesn't have a phone. It is true that on laptops, for instance, and on desktop computers, you can put apps that act as phones. And then there's also that voice over IP type of thing. So, I mean, there are phone apps, but even then they still get, like if you have a laptop and you carry that around with you, it still rings like a phone. Unless he has literally no life. I don't see quite how that's possible. I mean, for instance, I have a phone that I go out with. I have this flip phone. And on this phone, I don't really give out the number to it that much. I use that purely just in case if someone wants to get in contact with me, they can. And it's someone who's close to me. Like not even my extended relatives have this number. No, it doesn't make sense not to have any phone. Like I try not to go out with the smartphone just because I don't really care to, unless I'm actually going out on a trip or something like that, or I have some sort of actual work to do. But for someone to have no phone, and then even too, if he's there checking his social media accounts when he's out, that means that he's used to doing that stuff when he's out in the first place. I mean, he has that already, that addiction to social media, enough to go and constantly check when you're constantly checking your text messages, your phone apps. Oh, it's weird. I definitely think it's weird. And I think he is, I don't think, I think that if you do go and get yourself involved with him, you should be aware that he's going to use the closer and closer you get to him as he's going to use your affection for him as a weapon to do what he wants you to do. And that's suspicious. You know, I've I've tutored senior citizens in using their phones, like phones and computers and things like that. That's some of the community work that I've done. And one thing I could say is that when somebody is not used to working with a phone or working with a computer and then working with certain apps, and the way that the layout is different on and the operating systems and so forth are different on these devices, if you're not used to it, it's not really easy for them to make a mistake like posting a picture of himself on your social media. That's a very specific type of thing. I mean, if somebody took this phone and posted a short, recorded a YouTube short video, that proves that they're very phone savvy and used to doing that and very intentional. That's very intentional. No, that's good. Well, I do see that he's very smart. I do think he is very smart. I also think that this Libra, he wants to go and definitely have you attached to him. He's very dodgy. But I think that the big thing about him, he's a manipulator. And it's almost the same sort of energy with your ex, and the fact that your ex had problems opening himself up and actually showing affection and appreciation. This person has a similar type of energy. It's hard for him to show appreciation. In this case, in his case, Libra's case, it's hard for him to show appreciation for things that don't come from him. It's also hard for him to appreciate situations and people that don't follow him. Yeah. I don't like his energy. If I didn't say that already, I don't like his energy. I don't like how he's so impressive, and I do feel he's very smart. But he's so stingy when it comes to emotional connections. He can't make anybody happy. He won't make anybody happy. Yeah. But I think if you can get life advice from him, or if you can go work with him on a professional level, then do so. Because let me say too, with this guy, I feel like as long as he feels like he could possibly get something from you, he'll be amendable. But you need to watch him. I think you need to watch him, and I think don't give him don't give him a lot of time. Like if you think, for instance, maybe he could go and recommend you to some colleagues or some like work advice or whatever it is that he could do. I would try and do that as sooner rather than later. Because as long as he thinks that there's a possibility he can get something more from you, he'll help you. But the moment he realizes that you're your own person and you won't be manipulated or cowed into doing anything you don't want, then he'll leave. But then I feel like he'll still, if he can, I feel like if you don't block him, he'll sort of be there all bravado, don't you want, and you say no. And then he'll be quiet for a period of time, maybe a month, maybe 5 months. He'll be quiet for a period of time and then he'll pick up again and see if you're ready to follow his lead now. Oh. You know, Charlie, with what you're saying, that reminds me of something that I dealt with last year. Oh, Charlie, something that I dealt with a client last year, like kind of what you're describing, except the fact was this man was mid-50s, mid-late 50s, and overweight and like a whole bunch of negatives. And I met this guy through an ad to do an e-commerce site. And he basically took the whole time of meeting and he kept on trying to make it into dates. And when he would set up appointments for me to work, he wanted to work together. So I'd go and meet him, and then he would just go and talk about himself. He would go and try and set up business meetings at restaurants, and he wouldn't pay me, but then he was there saying, "Oh, but we're friends." No, I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean, Charlie, because I dealt with someone like that last year. That person too, Charlie, paid me a portion of the amount he owed me, something like 5 months later. And when I asked to go and be paid for my time after 2 weeks, he was acting like those 2 weeks every time that we met were outings and dates. No, that's like definitely, I would say he's not even worth it now that you told me that story. I don't know, Charlie, with what you said about him, the fact that he should have paid you, but instead he just wants to take you out and spend and socialize with you. And that's a huge red flag, and I've been out through that. I spent 2 weeks dealing with a person like that when I thought I was on a job being paid. I was there because I answered an actual job ad to be paid for creating an e-commerce site. No, I'm just saying I know exactly what you mean. And you know what the whole thing is too, those types of people, Charlie, they never give up. They never give up. They think that, I don't know whether they're thinking it's just, women in business or women trying to get ahead or single women or something single young women, but they just think that, I don't know, they just think that they can do that. Well, the whole thing is he said he would pay you, and he didn't. And then to top it off, he wants to compensate you. He tried to compensate you by a date. That's horrible. And I know exactly what you mean, because I had that person refuse to pay me, but he was there saying, oh, but we can meet for lunch and you can attend this free yoga class with my friend. I have a session, we can do that together. Or I have film tickets to this very exclusive event, exclusive showing. We can go and watch that together. And what did he say? I will say too, Charlie, someone that does that is only going to try and get you closer and closer and introduce you more and more as, I don't know, a romantic interest or something. They're taking you around to have on their shoulder. They're trying to create a relationship that would never be normally and is never going to be in actuality. What did he say about your ex? What did he say about that? And, you know, I don't know so much about saying it to other men, but I am going to say just in his energy, he's like your ex. Yes. Yes, Charlie, exactly, Charlie. That's what they do. That's why I said this person, 100%. Like, especially since he told me that story, he was supposed to pay you. He didn't pay you. Instead, he wanted to go and, you know, give you food and entertain you. These people like to do that because they just want to socialize with you and be there like, oh, this is who I know. This exciting person, this pretty person. You know, Charlie, that guy that I met through that job, he kept on trying to bring me over to meet his parents. Kept on wanting me to meet his brother, his parents, his brother. He was introducing me to all these other people, and he was there like, I'm networking with you. It's like, no, you're not networking for me. You're introducing me to your friends who you're trying to say like, oh, we're going to go over here and have dinner with my friends. We're going to have lunch with my friends, all during business meetings. Well, the energy that I got from your ex is that he does love you and he doesn't have the ability to go and be open. He doesn't have the ability to appreciate. So therefore, just because he loves you, if he can't appreciate you and can't honor you and can't respect you, what good is it? Right? It's not any good. And you know that. But now that you told me this story, Charlie, I definitely think with that Libra, if you don't have to deal with that Libra, or if you do have to deal with that Libra, be very careful with that Libra, because a person like that, Charlie, the person who acted that way towards me, I'll email you if you want the sign of that person who did that. But as somebody who does that Libra, Charlie, like that Libra, that's what they do. They go around and they find people who they can do that with. And then when they can't do that any longer with you, they move on to someone else. Yeah. Yeah, you need to be careful with that man. Only because with the energy that I get is that, number one, he isn't stupid. Number two, this is what they do. Especially since you told me that story about the fact that he was supposed to pay you and instead he took you to sauna and fed you. That is a specific type of yeah. Charlie, do you have any more questions? Is there anything else that we should take a look at? Yeah, he's bad news. Are there any other things that you'd like to go and see about this person or not? Or maybe too, Charlie, a question to go and look at is maybe why are you attracted to him? Well, that is the reading that I did. Is he living a double life? I think he's actually pretty clear on what you see, on what he presents himself to be. I mean, he's not presenting himself as a family man, right? He's not a family man, not at all. He will manipulate you through your. Sure, which part? Tell me which part. You're going to send him your bank details. Well, based on the question of is he living a double life? I can't remember the hours that you did. Well, I don't feel he's living a double life. I feel like he is. If he said that he wasn't into having a family or in a relationship and he went into flings, that's true. He is very attracted to you. That's true. He will manipulate you by your feelings. That's true. I feel like if he doesn't get his way with you, he will ghost you and then he will come back. I understand, Charlie. You're all in. Too much. Too much, Charlie. Well, if you want to go and see any more questions about him or about why Even why did the same type of man come around? Maybe why are you attracted? What is it that brought your circumstances to his table 2 weeks ago? What do you mean by deal questions? I mean business questions? Yes. If you want to see something around business, I can definitely do that. What's another question that you have? Maybe there's just something that we can invest here. You want to take a look at that? Because as I said too, that's like a very specific type of person. A number of questions for an amount. Okay, Charlie, let's do that. And let me think for a moment on the questions for the amount. I'm open to it. I definitely am open to it. Oh, can you hear me now? Am I still frozen? Am I still frozen? Let me see. I'm not muted, right? No. Excuse me. Am I still frozen? Let's see. Okay, cool. No, understood, Charlie. Let me see. 1 minute. Give me a minute. Okay. So let's do that last question. And Charlie, if you're interested on the deal questions, I could definitely do that for you. No, I know what you mean. And we could do them quicker too. Or maybe you could think about the questions that you have up. We can do that for the next session. But yeah, let's do this. We could do this last question about the circumstances that attracts him to you. And then if you like, Charlie, maybe we can do 8 questions for 50. Think of 8 questions, or if you want to, if you have, excuse me, one question and you just want to see where you feel or what kind of questions you have to lead up to it. We can do that. But I can definitely do deal questions for you, Charlie. Especially hearing the fact that you had, or that you have that Libra who treated you that way. Because I know exactly what that feels like, Charlie. That's a horrible thing to be put through, I think. Yeah? Does that sound good? About the deal, I would say for 58 questions, and that's not including like the yes or no questions. Questions to go and get some answers. Sounds good. When you're ready, let me know, and also set aside a period of time and we'll dive into it and get all the answers you need. I won't time lock that or anything with those questions. Sounds awesome, Charlie. I'll be more than happy to do that deal for you. Do you still want to do that remaining question about the circumstances? Sounds sounds good. And we could set up a private live. We'll set up a private live on those days too. No, thank you, Charlie. I really appreciate you as well. And as I said, we'll look into your questions. No time limit. And do a private live and just, figure that out. I really don't like the fact that, as I said, that story just reminds me. It reminds me of that person that I dealt with, and there's something about that type of person that's it's like intervention. Okay, thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Shireen. I will. Take your time. No, you're not going crazy at all, Shireen. That person does have very impressive exterior, is very smart. That person, though, I think is very dangerous. That person is a manipulator. Okay, take your time. I'm here. Okay, welcome back. I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, Charlie. Thank you. Send another message to let me know that you can hear me. I'm not frozen, not muted. And we'll go and we'll get into your question as soon as I see a message from you. In the meantime, calling in the spirits. All right. What is it about your circumstances that attracted him? And Charlie, if you think that I'm lagging or anything, let me know. And just in case, sometimes YouTube gets funny with a stream. If it does sort of, cut out and it's not coming back, I'll create a part 2. So just look for that. But right now, since we're on the same page here, I'm going to go and pull. I am Charlie. I am. I have, well, we'll talk. I don't have any Italian. I don't have any Italian. I think if there was any European, theoretically it would be Irish, and that's from the Native American side, because, they say Irish, gets around with everyone. I do have French, though. I do have a little bit of Welsh, but I don't think you can see it. At least not in the makeup that I have. Yes, and the interesting thing is with the Native American side, it's like some of the relatives that I have, some of them, like on my aunts and uncles, age level, some of them went and they married more European type of people, and then the other relatives, lots of like siblings, they went and they married people who were from the islands and from, African Americans or people directly from Africa. So there's like literally in my family, there are these people that are, two different, they went to two different areas. It is. It's very interesting. It's also interesting too to see, what kind of importance too do they put, like the ones who value family connections, the ones who care about appearances. Very nice. Caribbean culture, I think, is so amazing. All the island cultures are. A whole bunch of mixes right then and there, too. And then the African nations. A family friend of ours, he's a Pakistani, and he married a Kenyan. And that woman, before she married him, she married a European. So there's like all these, just in this woman's family, she has people who are right then and there from Asia, Europe, and Africa. And they're, this woman, she has something like 3 or 4 degrees, and her family's all into architecture. They're all architects, and I literally think that I don't know now if it's Kenya or Nairobi, but some city, they have an architecture firm where, like, she has a couple of sons, and they all are maybe it's like one of the father's companies. I know that you think about just this woman who literally has lived and traveled between Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. And then she keeps that whole trajectory, that footprint of the world in her family, in her life. Very cosmopolitan. Very, very, very cosmopolitan. Anyway, let's get into your reading, okay? And I'll tell you more about the background that I have when we do our private lives. All right. So what is it about your circumstances that has attracted this Libra? I'm actually going to draw a tarot. And I'm actually, Charlie, going to use this deck. Creole. I have relatives who are Creole. I have some European, but it really is such a small amount. Very, very small. I think it's just like saying, I might be saying I'm Aboriginal. I think for as much that. Yes, you do. You definitely do. All right. I have the moon. Bottom of the deck energy I have is Wheel of Fortune. Of course, moon traditionally is read for Pisces. I actually read my moon cards as Piscean and Cancerian energy. I feel the moon is just as strongly applies to Cancer as Pisces. And first of all, let me go and say, what is it about your circumstances? Shireen, it's almost like you're too open, or you're just very open. You magnetize people. think just by you being there, people are jumping upon the opportunity to interact with you. That's what I'm first feeling with the moon. Like the gravitational pull of the ocean, of the water, the ocean's water going back and forth. The moon phases that diminish and grow. The illumination that happens. I feel like all of this very shifting, close but far, intriguing but mysterious type of energy is, first of all, you leave an impact. You leave an impact just simply by being visible, being around. You catch people's eyes, you catch their attention. They want to know more about you. And then also too, Shireen, let me go and say, even before I pull anything, as you're doing that, Shireen, people are waiting for the opportunity. They're waiting for the opportunity. With Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of deck energy with the moon, they're waiting for the opportunity to get closer. And it's funny, as I continue to go and pull, I have Page of Pentacles and I have Queen of Cups in here. I read my queens as cardinals. I read my queens as Cancer. It's a whole lot of opportunity here that people are waiting for. It's almost like sampling a delicacy in the energy that I'm feeling. And I think too, Shireen, while you attract people, you're not easily approachable. You maintain your boundaries. You don't make it easy for them to come close to you. Do they want to jump on you? They definitely want to get closer to you. I think they just never came across your type of energy. Hypnotic energy, different energy. You flow differently than the average person. You intrigue people more than... You intrigue people with something that they never expected. I'll put it that way. Like if somebody's there going, I like apples, I like apples, I like apples, and then all of a sudden they're presented with ice cream. You go and present ice cream, a bowl of ice cream, or some sort of exquisite fruit tart to someone. All of a sudden, you do, but you're not. You attract people. You get them to wait for the opportunity to approach you. But Shireen, you're not easy to approach. You don't make it easy for them to approach. You have your own boundaries, and they have to respect that, which is why they even more so wait for an opportunity to come close to you. Maybe you have more than siren energy, Shireen. Maybe you're just simply an old soul. An old soul that previously, Shireen, has touched a lot of people before. And Shireen, let me go and say this too. If you, in all of your incarnations, in all of your souls of vibration. You know how we have that natural, we all naturally emanate our own electrical frequency. And, for some people, it's like a 10-mile radius. Some people, it is, could be like a 40-mile radius. And I think, first of all, with you, Shireen, there could be something just in your natural auric field that not only maybe are you drawing people together who you've touched upon in previous lifetimes. Maybe, Shireen, you're like a universal key. And what I mean by that is you have the ability to form soulmate connections and find or come across soulmate connections, both new and old. But anyway, essentially the reason why they're so drawn to you is because there's some stardust, some common threads you have, and you resonate with another. First of all, let me say too, with this person who this specific one, why did your circumstances approach that guy? I think he was aware of you before. Before he met you, you said that he met you 2 weeks ago. I think he was aware of you before. I think he's been cyber stalking you. He's been aware of you. He's been watching you much older, much longer than there are puzzles to be figured out. Well, this guy is complex. In the energy that I pulled from him, he's complex. He doesn't want to be transparent. And I do think this man was cyber stalking you before he approached. I do think he found you sweet a month ago. Well, before he approached you, I think that he was aware of you. And I think he has continued maybe he went through, he has been cyber stalking you. And he has been watching your social media accounts. He is very, very, very taken with you, Shireen. Very possessive about you too, Shireen. It's more than good energy. You resound with his soul, Shireen. He's seeing you as a soulmate. You're in soulmate energy to him. You are delicious to him. I have no doubt about that. But he's also been investigating with his cyber stalking. I just don't see it as watching your socials. He's been stalking you. He's been finding out everything he can about your situation. And he's been doing it for a while. Hierophant, Two of Swords, and Seven of Cups. How long have you known his cousin? How long have you known his cousin? I ask because I got the moon again here, Charlie. And of course, I got High Priestess energy. High Priestess is also Pisces. I feel High Priestess also applies definitely to Cancer as well. as a cardinal sign. Also does have Scorpio energy in here. I feel all this energy here. Well, Charlie, first of all, I wonder how long have you known his cousin, his female cousin, because I think he's known about you earlier. And I think, Charlie, he has been working his way to known her for the same amount of time. Well, a moon could stand for a month. It could stand for 1 month's cycle. But he definitely has been stalking you, finding out more about you. Something about this feels very controlled. Two of Swords, of course, is Libra energy. Hierophant, for that matter, is Taurus energy. Five of Pentacles is Taurus energy. Seven of Cups is Scorpio energy. First of all, I'm going to say that it definitely is all about opportunity and timing. All about opportunity and timing. I really feel too with the Taurus cousin. I feel like she's had some sort of, I feel like she has connections with us. She's not utterly removed. I don't think at all. It is a serendipity because there's control here. With Hierophant, Two of Swords, Five of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, and then as I said before, we have the moon coming up again. And I actually don't mind the moon. Some people say, oh, moon is a negative card, blah, blah, blah. I don't believe that. I don't think any card in the tarot is straight up negative or straight up positive. And I think actually when the moon is properly aspected, moon is beautiful. I'd rather have a beautiful moon than a beautiful sun. Yeah, there's something about here that it's contrived. And let me say, Shireen, with Five of Pentacles and Seven of Cups, I don't like this energy besides the fact like, it is like a Five of Pentacles and a Seven of Cups. It's like in this energy, making use of the circumstances to your benefit. There's manipulation here. And it's also like because you're in this state of Five of Pentacles, you're in the state of being kept running, kept busy, being focused on your first immediate steps. You're therefore being kept distracted from the overall larger picture. What's going on behind you? What's going on around you? Your attention is being focused, directed. There's manipulation here. I think I think he, the energy that I'm getting here is that it feels like she has been responsible for bringing you to him. That's the energy that I'm getting. Trying to think if I'm saying that accurately to how I feel about the energy. It's very contrived. It's very contrived, and I feel like they're keeping you distracted or keeping you hopping. And there's some manipulation going on in the background. So what is it about your circumstances? First of all, I think that you were just taking things at face value. Or she's presenting things to you in a straightforward manner, and you're there going, okay, this is what it is. But as I said, I think that they're keeping you distracted. Like, I mean, I understand an event, you're there to make use of the event, right? If you're traveling, you're there to travel. If you're there to fill out a form, you're there to fill out a form. But I think that while they were keeping your attention focused in one area, there was actually a whole lot of other things going on behind the scenes. And I feel like this energy is still there. What is it about your circumstances? You're too straightforward. I say that his cousin and him are connected. I say that he's been watching you. I think that he's already expressed his admiration to you. And I think his cousin is fine with trying to get you two together. I think that in this, that's why I said, how long have you known the cousin? Because in this energy I have, it's also manipulation. Now, again, I don't mind the moon card. I don't mind the high priestess card. I don't mind the tower card. In fact, I love the tower and death card. I love transformation. You have to. And use this connection, Shireen, for you to go and get as much as you can, as quickly as you can. Because this person has been doing this before. This is his MO. He's done this before. He will continue to do this afterwards. In other words, this is a game that he's skilled at. But I do feel like there's a level of manipulation here. That's why I said, how long have you known her? I don't like the energy. A whole lot of things are going on behind the scenes that you are not aware of, Shireen. And it's all because you have soulmate energy with him. You do strike a different chord with him. You hit differently to him than what he's felt before. And he's been stalking you like crazy. He's been finding out your business like crazy. He's taken with you. It's not even a crush. Soulmate is not even a crush energy. Soulmate's much more intense than a crush. It's like love at first sight, Shireen. If I was to go and put the energy that I feel with this card and the moon, I'd say that on his level, his case, it was love at first sight. Now, there's something else I wanted to say here before I dug into this a little bit more. He more than likes you. I say it's love at first sight for him, but my question is, what is love to him? Right? I think that his idea of love is different than our idea of love. Really? Yeah, that's what I say. I said that he has towards you, he has love at first sight. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be logical. And also, too, as I said, the way that he loves and what he feels as soulmate love at first sight energy, I don't think it's the same as what you and I would consider or feel love at first sight energy. And again, love at first sight energy. He has soulmate. He has a moon. I don't read my moons. I don't feel my moons at all as anything as detached. Also, too, moon energy hits hard. You can ignore it, but it still churns and grows in there like a stomach ache, Shireen. Something deep inside you that really, for you to go and fully move past it or heal it, you need to sit and slow yourself down, right? You need to sleep it off. You need to calm it down. And also, too, in this energy, Shireen, it doesn't make sense. Does it need to make sense? It hits inside. And I would say, too, with his rationalization that he's been telling you of love takes years and this and that. First of all, I don't think his definition of love is the same as our definition of love. Secondly, he's highly taken with you. And I feel like it's love at first sight energy. You have soulmate here. Soulmate wouldn't come up unless that person was impacted really hard by you. No, Shireen, I feel like first of all, let me say, Shireen, don't trust his words. Definitely don't trust his words. There's a whole lot of things going on with the connection, Shireen, that is not at surface level. I know it's what about your circumstances that attracted him, but let me say the message that I'm getting here is your gut feelings are accurate, Shireen. What you feel on a vibrational level, because again, you can't hide, you can't distort emotion, you can't distort energy. Somebody loves you, they love you. Someone hates you, they hate you. If they hate and love you, well, that energy is still there. You can't distort energy. You can distort your actions, you can distort your words, you can distort your actual physical circumstances, but you can't hide the truth of energy. And what I have here, Shireen, is I don't think you should not trust anything that he says. And I think, Shireen, there's a whole lot more going on in the background of your connection than how simple it appears. Because that's all that it is appearing to be a certain way. And I feel like there's a lot more business movement going around behind you that you're not aware of. He's not one to go and talk about your confidence or not, Shireen. I feel like him saying that is a manipulation tactic. No, I don't think you should trust him, Shireen. And what you should trust, Shireen, is your own gut. Trust your own intuition, Shireen. Shireen, you are powerful. Shireen, you radiate. You know. Doesn't have to make logical sense, Shireen. You know, and you are accurate. Shireen, I wouldn't trust his words at surface level because they're to keep you focused on what he wants you to be focused on, not what's actually going on around you. He's trying to corral you too. What is it about your circumstances essentially that has attracted him to you is definitely love at first sight. And I feel he has been waiting, or he is waiting for the opportunity. It's all about timing. There's an opportunity that he has to get in your face, be by your side, get your attention, and he ran with it. And I do think that there's more to this connection than what has arisen. Shireen, I'm going to go and pull a few more cards for you on this. Trying to think which ones do I want to tackle. Let's take a look at Seven of Cups. Ace of Swords, the Emperor. Shireen, one thing about your circumstances that has attracted this man to you or has put this man to you definitely is the fact that you are single. You are single and you are industrious, Shireen. You are single, you are working on your own business, you are developing your own business. I think it's those things. Yeah, I saw that. And I know you don't. And Shireen, I don't think in the energy that I have here, I wouldn't recommend that you allow him to touch you at all. Of course, this man wants to be all over you. He wants to be all over you. And then that thing about saying about the baby, that wasn't a lie. He actually does feel that way. But let me too say with Shireen, with this energy that I have here, I have Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is Libra energy. I have Emperor. I have 10 of Cups. Under a 7 of Pentacles. This man wants a whole lot more from you than I feel like what he knows he's going to ever get. He knows you won't go and deal with him. Well, Shireen, he's not being honest when he says that he's, he doesn't love you or this or that. He sees you as single. He sees you as someone who he'd like to commit to. I mean, you're in Queen of Pentacles energy to him. That's a committed woman. 7 of Cups clarified by Ace of Swords, Libra energy, Emperor, and 10 of Cups. Shireen, he definitely sees you as, do I call it partner energy? Do I call it family energy? Do I just call it soulmate energy, sweet soulmate energy? He sees you as someone to be a partner with. Now the question is, what kind of partner? Does he see that also too? With this decision, this is the decision that he's made, but he hasn't shared that with you, Shireen. He's keeping you distracted with other things. But in his head, or at least vibrationally, what he's feeling is he's seeing you, he's seeing himself as alpha man, and he's seeing you as delicious. He's already imagining a life with you, but I feel like he is there convoluting the issue so you don't sense that from him. It's not a decision or not a feeling that he has about you, Shireen, that he's willing to share. At least not yet. He's not willing to share under the moon. Under the moon, you set his imagination going wild as someone who he could be with. He has soulmate energy towards you. What more can I say than that? Trying to see for here what is beneficial for you to know. Let's check out Hierophant. Well, he is he's not quite wild about you, but he's pretty close to wild about you. Wild is not the right word, but the intensity is the same, Shireen. Wild is not the right word to how he feels about you, but if we took the emotion, the passion of the word wild, like if we were cooking, and if that was a flavor or a type of, I don't know, a flavor profile, a weight. But Shireen, with the moon, I feel you yourself are an old soul. So let me say, with him being a soulmate, I feel like as an old soul, Shireen, also too as an enlightened soul, you can vibe, and you have vibed with a lot of people. A lot of people are going to be touched by you because you're an old soul. And I feel too, because you're sort of at that stage of soul light, soul maturation, whatever you want to go and call it, Shireen, you vibrate, you ting, like ting, almost like this sort of energy. With a wide range of people. I think that ability. That's what I'm feeling. Exactly. And also, you are Shireen. You are Shireen. You're creating a powerful legacy. The people who met you, Shireen, you're creating a powerful legacy. Hierophant, I have Ace of Wands. This really wants to come out. I'm not going to take the Lovers because I only want to take the first card, but this Lovers really want to come out. I have Ace of Pentacles. Of course, does it matter, Shireen? Shireen, this is the same sort of energy that I got for you this morning. And I shuffled the deck, and I've done other readings since then. This Lovers really wanted to come out, Shireen. I know I keep on skipping. This is under Hierophant, Shireen. This is Union, Shireen. Passion, permanence, and union. Exclusively. There's something in your energy right now that's electric. In fact, Shireen, let me go and say this too. Especially since I got this in regards to the Scorpio, to Hazel. Shireen, right now you've attracted this man who sees you as a soulmate. But Shireen, you can turn this energy. Right now you're attracting, but in this energy you can call. Let me say that as well. You can flip this around, Shireen, and you can send out a vibrational call of who you want. Feel who you want, Shireen. No, Shireen, this is what you are inspiring. I already said you're powerful, Shireen, with those two moons. You're sweet right now, Shireen. And not just because I had the card soulmate and sweet. You're in this energy. You're in a phase in which you are radiating this energy. And I think right now you're just receiving people who are attracted to it. I think the message that I know you asked that question about blah, blah, blah. Question that we're both asking. The circumstances that led this man to you. But I think the greater message here that I have to share for you is that you have been attracting this, but you can call. You can call who you want. And I think, Shireen, you can call who you want by communing, closing your, I don't even know if you need to close your eyes, Shireen. Focus on the moon. Focus on the sky. Focus on something that you like. Focus on a plant. Yes, you can. And you should, Shireen, because right now people are just being attracted to you because they sense that power from you. And here under here, I'm also going to say possessive energy again. It's like all to myself. That's the energy that the Libra has towards you. But more importantly, Shireen, you can call. You're getting people who are attracted to this, but you can call this and you can use this as power. You can initiate anything. Anything you want. Very powerful to realize things, Shireen. You are. And that's why they want to keep you distracted. He also wants to keep you distracted. He's possessive and he wants to keep you distracted. He's possessive. He doesn't want you to see things as they truly are. There's a whole lot of manipulation going around in the background. Things are not as straightforward as they appear. His imagination is going quite all over the place. Well, he's not good. And he doesn't have good intentions. He has possessive intentions. And he does see you as a soulmate. Does he have have you looked at his chart? Like, for instance, in his chart, does he have any notable water or earth in his chart? I don't really get that much fire. But I do have notable water and earth. If you do, I would say look for water, because there's a whole lot of strong water here. And look for Aries. If you want to look for fire, you can look for Aries, because I have strong Aries here. I'm curious where his Aries would be if he has them. but I do have strong Aries here, and I do have strong Earth. And I have that Capricorn energy too. So Five of Pentacles is clarified by Justice, which of course is Libra energy. I don't like his energy, honestly. I think he's dangerous. I think he's manipulative, and I don't really see him offering you any real concrete help. If he gave you real concrete help, Shireen, you wouldn't need him. So he wants to keep you distracted. So you stay in the same situation that brought you to him, and that same situation will keep you with him. And I think energy vampire is a fair enough assessment. Either way, I know that he ultimately will not bring you growth, especially over the long term, the long run. He's too consumed with you. I would not touch him for anything. He sees you as a soulmate. He sees you as sweet. Everything is on his terms. Possibly in this energy, I'm not really focusing on it. Possibly he's objectifying you, but you already said that he took you, he's doing that whole whining and dining. He'll be holding back abundance, even if you were his girlfriend. As far as I'm concerned, he'd be worse if you were his girlfriend. He would put mental trips on you, and by the time you left him, Shireen, it would be a head trip for you to go and get back to who you are. He's not good. He's taking advantage. Justice with clarified by, Five of Pentacles clarified with Justice. A lot of things he's keeping hidden. Anyway, know that about your circumstances. He finds you essentially a soulmate. He wants to be close with you, and he knows that it would never happen, but he's still going to go and try his best to have that happen. He's going to try and have that happen, Shireen, by distracting you. Oh, he's so taking advantage. Absolutely. Completely. I wouldn't trust anything he says either. I'm not saying to be confrontational with him or anything about that, because he's and so when he's saying that you're healed or you're vulnerable or you got pain or this or that, I would lay pause on what he says, because he's saying that for effect, and his whole thing is about molding you. Using all this air, he's using words to try and flirt over you. I don't know if it caught this part, but I was saying sort of what the Libra is and the reason why he's here is leading you. He's leading you on. If there's anything that he says he's going to do, have him actually do it. Have him actually go and give tangibles. Yes, and the way that I see it, that's the way he acts in relationships in general. That's why I said you not even touch him. because he wants you to become attached to him, and then that's when the real manipulation starts. You should put pressure on him. I think you should. Well, here, let me put it this way. This situation with him is going to come up to a head when he realizes he's not going to get what he wants. And then when that happens, he's going to go completely cold. He's going to ghost you, blah, blah, blah. But Shireen, when that happens, he's not done with you. He's just going to go and ignore you for anywhere, I would feel like for excuse me, for a month to up to 6 months. I could see him ignoring you for a very long time. This man is not done with you by a long shot. Unless you actually block and move away from the area that you're in. And he intends to be around for a while. Yes, I said I feel like this is what he did with this. And intends to mold you. That's what's all disturbing about it. It's like if you're there saying no today, his whole thing is, well, if he keeps on needling and being around you and waiting, eventually he'll get what he wants. Or eventually you'll be lonely enough to, give him what he wants. And also, too, let me say, Shireen, in that Hierophant energy that I have here, although he said that he doesn't do relationships or whatever nonsense, he doesn't love, blah, blah, blah. Whatever he tells himself, okay, he still wants you to be connected to him in that Queen of Pentacles energy that I had up here before. I had Queen of Pentacles and Hierophant. He still wants you to be committed to him. He still wants you to be tied to him. Maybe he'll go out, see other people. He doesn't want to see you go out and see other people. Oh, he definitely uses silent treatment as his weapon. He gives strong enough or stable enough that you'll be able to get out of the phase that you're in right now. Because the phase that you're in right now is precisely what brought you to him. I think he's bad news. I think he's 100% bad news. I think he's a manipulator. I wouldn't trust his words for. If he said that it was raining outside, I would have to go outside and check for myself to make sure it's raining. He wants to get you attached to him in some way so that then he can go and completely mop the floor with you. Oh, he exactly is that type. Very much so. Anyway, that's what we have for the Libra. Well, I don't know your dad's energy, but I know your ex's energy, and he's the same type as your ex. Yes. He's a little different than your ex. No, thank you. Thank you, Shireen. I also send God's blessings to you as well. Now, on the private level, I'll tell you about my father. Mine is winner. There are other words I would use. Well, actually, I do have words I'd use to describe him. And I can describe him quite accurately without using any bad words, too. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Shireen. And sending you likewise abundance of love, abundance of health, abundance of money, abundance of respect, and abundance of safety. Shireen, that they keep on trying to shut off on me. Like as soon as I say the word Scorpio, it goes off. I'm back too. I was realizing that I was talking without being on mute again. I forgot what I was saying other than the fact that YouTube is lagging today. I found that I did like a video and it only took in something like under a minute when I did live because this one is too glitchy. I'm live because this one is too glitchy. I'm going to live and I'll hop on there. Internet. It definitely did start to lag when we were talking about that. I do think with the weather is very much in tune to our energies. But yeah, I'm going to excuse me. I'm going to create a new live. I'll be on again in about 5 minutes. Same title. I I think so. The moment we started talking about that, the whole thing cycled for what, 5 minutes, 10 minutes? A lot. But yeah, I'm going to create a new live. I'm going to hop on there. I'll be on there in about 5 minutes. Ah. Do you want to know? Well, if you want, Charlie, send another donation in and I'll check it out. If this goes lagging again, I'll go and create a new live. But if you want to go and see, I can pull forward and find out. Let me know. I'm going to get some water. I do. I think it's an interesting question, especially the reading that we did this morning regarding what kind of magic and how does he tap into his spell work regarding you. I think it's a good question, and it's worth exploring, especially because there's a whole lot of energy that he's directed towards you in this area. Even the fact that you yourself feel it. Okay, sounds good. I'm going to get some water. I'll be back in just a second. Oh, you're helping. Shireen, you're helping me so much too with this. I really, really, really do appreciate it. And that's why, as I said, I want to help you as much as I can with the questions that I'll answer you. I'll pull forward. I know. A new live. A new live. But I think that we could be. Good. And I think we're still back. I have my water. Thank you. I'm back too. My water. I'll be right back. Because maybe it's this this particular stream. So keep that in mind that if this goes off again, just go back to the channel and look for alive. I'm just going to call it Mystic Moses Live. Okay, still lagging. Let's see, look, we'll give it a minute or two and see if it gets any better. I'm going to cleanse the cards in the meantime. Let's see. Let's see.